Why do we actively avoid information that could benefit us? The mounting credit card statement, the persistent, uncomfortable health symptom, the project deadline we forget about. We know that facing the truth is the only path to progress, yet we often choose ignorance. This isn't merely procrastination, it's a powerful, primal instinct with a name, the Ostrich Effect. It's the tendency to metaphorically bury our heads in the sand, hoping problems disappear. But this mental blind spot is silently warping your most vital decisions about health, finances, and relationships, incurring costs far greater than you realize. This isn't about shame, it's about understanding the deep, protective mechanisms of your brain. Today, on Faceted Thought, we uncover 3 clear psychological fixes, forged in ancient wisdom and modern cognitive science, to pull your head out of the sand and face reality with genuine courage and clarity. The first fix to the ostrich effect is understanding the small step threshold. Why do we avoid looking at our bank balance? Because the anticipated emotional cost of the bad news feels overwhelming. Our brains are hardwired to protect us from perceived threats, and a mountain of debt, a major deadline, or a grim health diagnosis is definitely perceived as an imminent threat. The ostrich effect thrives on the sheer magnitude of the perceived problem. We fear that the minute we open that email or check that number, we will be forced into an impossible, all-encompassing action. The mechanism of avoidance. Psychologically, this is often driven by myopic loss aversion. We focus entirely on the short-term pain of the loss, seeing the negative number, rather than the long-term benefit of information acquisition, making a corrective decision. The fear of the initial moment paralyzes all future movement. The fix is to dramatically reduce the perceived size of the first required action, making the act of engagement so minor, so trivial, that your brain has no rational reason to resist. Instead of saying, "I must create a budget and pay off my debt," make it, "I will open the banking app for 60 seconds. Instead of, "I must overhaul my entire thesis," make it, "I will open the document and read the last sentence I wrote." This small step serves a critical function. It activates what's known as the Zeigarnik effect. This psychological phenomenon dictates that unfinished tasks create mental tension, an open loop that your mind is compelled to close. By taking that trivial first step, you intentionally open the loop, and the tension, which previously manifested as anxiety leading to avoidance, now flips, becoming an internal force of motivation. The ostrich effect wants you to believe the first step is an impossible cliff. The small step threshold turns it into a tiny bump. Face the small bump, and the rest will naturally follow, because your own brain wiring will compel you forward. Our second fix addresses not the action of avoidance, but how we interpret the information once we look at it. The information framing shift. We are emotionally conditioned to treat negative information as a personal verdict, a moral judgment on our past choices. My business failed because I'm a bad entrepreneur. Or, my health is poor because I lacked discipline. This emotional baggage and the threat to our ego is precisely what makes the ostrich effect so tempting. We avoid the information to avoid the self-shame. The mechanism of reframing. The fix is to reframe all negative information as neutral data for future optimization, not a final verdict on your character or your past. The moment you see an uncomfortable truth, you must consciously label it as feedback. When you look at a disappointing sales report, do not say, "I'm a failure." Say, "This data reveals areas for strategic adjustment in the next quarter." When a medical report is challenging, do not say, "I'm failing my body." Say, "This is feedback for how to optimize my health strategy moving forward." This is a classic Stoic move, focusing on what you can control, your interpretation and your future action, and rigidly detaching from what you cannot, the past event itself. This shift instantly removes the ego from the equation. It transforms a perceived personal failure into a strategic puzzle that simply requires an objective, emotionless solution. By actively detaching emotion from data, you strip the ostrich effect of its potency, allowing you to see problems as opportunities for calculated improvement, rather than overwhelming reasons for emotional retreat. The information is not happening to you, it is simply for you. Our final fix is the most powerful deterrent to burying your head in the sand: the accountability anchor. The ostrich effect thrives in absolute isolation. When no one is watching, when the problem is entirely internal, it is effortless to rationalize away that untouched project or that ignored medical advice. The lack of external pressure allows the bias to compound without friction. The mechanism of transparency. The fix is to create a system of external, non-judgmental accountability. This is not about public shaming, but about setting up a gentle, supportive pressure that makes ignoring the truth harder than facing it. The small social cost of disappointing a partner becomes a greater motivator than the abstract fear of the problem itself. This creates a subtle yet powerful external structure. Tell a trusted mentor your financial goal and promise to send them a screenshot of your weekly savings progress. Share your workout schedule with a family member and simply ask them to text you a thumbs up emoji on those days. Set up an automated digital reminder that asks a simple, objective question. Did you check the overdue account balance today? The human desire for social consistency means we are far more likely to follow through when we know someone else is aware of our intentions. The transparency of the accountability anchor makes it difficult for the ostrich effect to hide in the shadows of self-deception. It guides you gently but firmly back toward the reality you might otherwise avoid, transforming vague fear into clear, collaborative, proactive action. Pull your head out of the sand, and the world and your progress becomes crystal clear and supported. The ostrich effect isn't a moral failing. It's a profound cognitive bias that costs you time and peace. But by implementing the small step threshold, the information framing shift, and the accountability anchor, you empower yourself to face reality head-on, transforming fear into actionable insight. This is the essence of true self-mastery, focusing ruthlessly on what you can control. If you are ready to take these insights deeper and transform your entire approach to mental well-being, our new ebook, The Modern Stoic: Personal Development Through Ancient Insights, is your next step. It integrates timeless Stoic principles with mindfulness and cognitive psychology, offering practical daily strategies to cultivate resilience, enhance decision-making, and lead a more balanced life. You can find the link to The Modern Stoic waiting for you right now in the description box below. If this guide brought you clarity, tap the like button. And for more applied psychology to sharpen your thinking and master your mind, subscribe to Faceted Thought.